Hello, folks. Welcome to the Whiskered Woodcarver. I'm Jeff C., a visual marketing and live video consultant guy, whatever. Happy Tuesday, I believe it is. I should start each show because these days are just kind of blurring together. And this is the show where where I carve for 30 minutes and we talk about a topic. And today's topic is all about who is your role model currently. I want to know. I think this is a great time to maybe pick a new one, or I'd love to know if you've been studying and, somebody you really look up to as your role model. So love to know that as we're going in the chat today. There's my pal, Joe Renshaw. He goes, "Good afternoon, bearded one." Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you're doing well in your neck of the woods. But we're going to go right to the carving cam and do some carving. Joe, I'd love to know who your role model is that you would like to share with us. So let's go to the carving cam here. Ba-bam. There we are. As always, we start out with putting on the protective garb. There's my thumb grip, my leather thumb guard there, and then my trusty wood carving cut-proof glove. Put that on and get going. Let's see here. Get my little heavy knives out, ready to go. And as always, we start with the sharpening. Put a little compound there, a little sharpening compound on the leather. Get that going, and then we will start. We'll start with the little one first. So, all right. So we're carving this Christmas ornament. We did the snowman, and it turned out pretty good. We had a little issue with some of the hat chipping on us, but we made it look all right. And so I've got a couple other just random things that I had in my tool bag that I wanted to kind of finish up before I pull out the paints. Not a big fan of painting. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's better than work, but I want to just get it all out and get all messy for just one piece. So we're gonna finish some of these I had in there. So J. Michael Hall says, "My dad was my role model." I would agree with that, Michael. My dad, he's still my role model. He is. It's great because he moved to Longview, where I'm from, and so until this thing happened, we would always go over to my mom and dad's house every Sunday for just dinner, and that's always the highlight of my week. But yeah, he's kind of my role model as well. So here's what we're carving. This is one of the first pieces I did. I think it's a little Christmas ornament. It's on a 1x1 piece of basswood that I just cut on the diagonal, and it's called no-seam Santas because they don't have any eyes. And so I had a little piece in my thing, and so we got pretty far yesterday. I need to probably take down the mustaches a little bit and start thinking about how I want to carve the beard. But we've got I have the timer up here because we have, I like to do it in 30-minute sets, and it lets people know that they're not going to be stuck here for all day. And also I want to show people how much you can get done in 30 minutes. So Joe goes, "My dad, he passed away 5 years, but the most kind, loving man I know. A close second would be my grandpa Cox, mom's side. Same endearing qualities, both men of God." That is awesome, Joe. And I can tell they made a big impact with you. So it's always good to have family members as good role models. So many people don't have that. So I'm very thankful as well. So Eva goes, "Your mom has always been a great role model for me." Well, I'll let her know that, Eva. Thank you for saying that. You never had her chase you around the yard with a yardstick, though. That may change your opinion. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's a pretty great lady. So my dad is definitely a role model. I've had good ones. I've had some, and there's people, I think I like to learn from people all the time, and they change. If I'm trying to do or improve something about myself, I'll look for somebody who has those attributes and kind of follow them. Eva said, "Your mom." Yeah, she's my mom. Eva and grew up where she's still there, but I grew up with Eva, and so she knows my mom. So J. Michael Hall asks, are you using Ecamm or something else as a stream tool? I am using Ecamm. I have it set up so it's doing my the M50 is the main camera on my face, and I have a little PIP, a little picture-in-picture that goes with my Logitech, which is my carving cam. So Eva goes, no, that just tells me you deserved it. Yeah, I probably did. Julie was the good kid. I was the I wouldn't say black sheep, but I was definitely off-white of the family. So, good dads, your dad's special. Thank you, Joshua. Yeah, dad's a good guy. But for like business stuff, one of my like current role models, I would say, is my pal Kim Garst, and I was initially attracted to the way she sold stuff online. She wasn't spammy or scammy, and so I've always loved the way that she's had her community. So, it depends. I mean, just general models, dads are a great one. And then I looked for other people who are good speakers or something that I want to emulate too. So we're just continuing to carve around here, get some of the little bit more depth on the hat and the brim, kind of round some things up a little bit. Problem is this wood is really thin there at the end. So Joshua says he's the black lamb of the family. I don't think you're that bad. So this is going to be a little difficult here on the sides because of the thinness of the wood. I didn't give myself a lot of room to round it. I mean, I have to use the V tool on that one a little bit, round it out. So we're just kind of carving out around the mouth, flattening some of this wood around here, and I'm gonna probably take it up a little. I did a little bit on this side. It's kind of, this one he had a kind of lopsided grin, and I'll probably do it the other way on this one maybe, because I've got some space to go, so I'll probably do that up a little bit more. There we go, that's what I wanted. Oh, so Eva goes, I'm actually in Topeka Hell. Helen Horton was another one. Yeah, we got in a lot of trouble, and Nick and I got in a lot of trouble at her house. So they had that cool basement that we'd always get sent down to, probably because we were too rambunctious. From their haunted houses they would have every year. Those were always fun. So let's take a little bit more off here. That's good. So we got a little lopsided grin going there. Let's see. This one seems thinner than my other one. I may have been a smaller piece from the scrap pile. Another one of somebody who recently has kind of been a role model is the guy by the name of Lou Mongello, who does Walt Disney World Radio. And you'd think that, man, he'd be really, that's a bummer right now because Walt Disney's closed. But he has been doing a podcast for ages, and it's one of the most popular ones out there. And he does just a really good job with his community, talking with them and building them up. And so recently I've been really checking out Lou's stuff, and he's a great guy too. I've met him before at some conferences, so it's always fun to get some of these role models from different places. Trying to flatten, to kind of take out, I want to have every piece of the carving at least get touched by the knife a little bit, because I don't want any, I want it to look like it's been worked over. There we go. Let me get my smaller knife to get some of these little cuts. Oh, look, my beard's making an appearance. Just gotta trim that bad boy up. People think that's a spider web getting in the camera. There we go, getting there. So, who are some other people's role models? We've had parents, dads. I guess another good question is like, what do you look for in a role model? Is it, you know, and how do they happen? Do you just kind of look? I'm not talking about you like parents or something. You kind of, if you are lucky enough to have a parent that's a role model, that's great. Yeah, Joshua, I can never shave. It's part of my brand now. So Joshua says leadership is something that he looks for in a role model. That's a great one. And it's hard to find good leaders because a lot of times, at least for me, I've really admired something about somebody and I dug in deeper or got to know them, and sometimes when you find out how the sausage is made, you know, that can kind of sour on you a little bit. So finding good ones that you can like follow for a lifetime are pretty important. Abby goes, I'd say you're my role model. Can I finish making dinner? I am hungry. No, I'm going to be in there in a little bit. So you can dice the tomatoes though. It's amazing. We're family time on the Whiskered Woodcarver. Joe says humility. Yes. That's getting rarer and rarer, and it's really weird. It's a real balance. I've always struggled with this a little bit because, you know, my industry is social media, which is sometimes like the opposite of being, you know, having humility. So that's a tough one, and it's really hard to find in my space. I think really good leaders who are humble too. That's key for me. So when you find those, you latch onto them. So, but they are out there. Like in this, I would say like Michael Hyatt, he's one in this space is really, he's an incredible leader and godly man, and I like how he runs his team. So they're out there. It's just, they're rare. But yeah, humble leaders. We need more of that right now sometimes, I think. Here we go. That's what I'm wanting. That's it. That's looking. See how I'm just getting the nose to pop out a little bit more. So there we go. Yep, a leader that can teach is important. All right, I'm gonna start rounding the brim of his hat down a little bit. This is where it gets a little tedious because these are kind of small pieces. Don't want to split it off. There we go. So we've got humility as one, being able to be a good teacher is another. I think those are both good. Being able to teach, I mean, yeah, it's no good having a role model if they're not teaching you anything. I think that is probably super important. All right, trying to find this a little bit more. There we go. Just trying to round down this just a little bit. Got 15 minutes left. get pretty close on this one. Hey, Donna. Taking me for a walk on the beach of Australia. I don't think I've ever had anybody do that with me before. Hey, when this gets down, Donna, when this is over, you need to get a put on a conference down there, and you invite all your speaker friends. I want to go to Australia really, really badly. It's on my bucket list. But it's nice you're able to walk on the beach. I appreciate you watching. It was funny. I went for a walk the other day, and I had an Instagram story, just said how beautiful it was or whatever, and somebody messaged me back going, "Where's your mask?" And I'm like, I have walked here for what, over 20 years, and I have never come across anybody. So I think I'm pretty good. Now, if I was like at a park or something, of course I'd wear one. But there we go. Loving, so Eva goes, loving, humble, kind, and yet firm in their walk with the Lord. Live what they teach. Yes, those are good. Those are all good. They should, and Joshua says, they should be able to understand that life happens. Yeah, you want to have somebody who's relatable. That's what I think you mean, Josh. So that's always important. Joe goes, take me too. It just quit snowing here. Man, I don't get that. That is crazy. No, thank you. But we did. I went later yesterday because usually I go around 5 o'clock to carve here, and I just got so behind with everything because we had power out. Some people still don't have power today because we're down south. The storms came through. Luckily, we didn't have any tornadoes around here, but we did lose power. And I was just praying, gosh, please, I need my internet. So much of my business is on it. So but I do not miss the snow, Joe. You can keep it. All right. I know this is probably hard to see, but I'm just slowly, I'm taking little bits out of the nose here because I don't want it to be flat like it was cut out of wood. I don't want it to be, rounded. So somebody picks it up. So see, we're getting there. If you look at it's like flat, but I'm trying to get a little bit more rounding. And the only way to do that is take off little pieces at a time. So this would be, if you're interested in carving, this would be a pretty, this and the penguin would probably be an easy one to start with. So Joe goes, we get spring every other day right now. 68 one day, 32 the next. Yeah, it's a really mild day here after the cold front came through here in Texas. So yeah, it was kind of gloomy and cold this morning actually. So it just this afternoon the sun came out and warmed things up. Yeah, I walked to class too much in Kansas with my ears feeling like they're going to break off. So I don't miss that. Eva, you can keep the cold weather in Kansas. Everyone's like, oh, but it's snow. It's pretty. A lot of my Texas friends they love snow. They think it's the coolest thing. And I'm like, yeah, I got over that. And they also freak out. If there's a dusting of snow here, they'll buy all the eggs and milk. I guess they're making French toast or something. And they'll shut down school. And they would only shut down school in Kansas if the bus couldn't get through the snowdrifts. So, yeah, East Texas, Donna. So I'm actually east of Dallas, about 2.5 hours, and about 45 minutes or an hour away from Shreveport, Louisiana. So we're in what they call the Arklatex or East Texas. So we have trees and hills and green stuff. They call it the piney woods of East Texas. So we have a lot of pretty pine trees around here, which is good and bad. Like when it's bad weather in Kansas, you could see a tornado coming. Here, you don't see them until they're right on top of you. And our water table's so high, nobody has basements. I mean, even in Kansas, we had a dirt floor basement. Now you go to the middle of your house, bend over, and kiss your rear goodbye, pretty much. There we go. Let's get there. So, Donna, we're talking about role models if you're still walking on the beach. So who is one of your role models that you like to, that you look up to? It's kind of cool that as my professional life has changed, a lot of my role models have become my friends, and that's pretty cool professionally. That's pretty awesome when that happens. Kind of neglected this stash over here. I need to get going. It's about 9 minutes left. So Donna goes, parents, grandparents, and a couple of host parents from a Rotary Exchange. What's a Rotary Exchange, Donna? I don't know what that is. Is it kind of like a exchange program? So Donna says, yes, colleagues and some business mentors, but agree, yeah. And Eva goes, I knew she was going to chime in. She goes, yeah, but in Kansas, you don't go to the basement. You run out to watch the tornado, especially if you're a gentry. Yes. But you guys do have enough sense. Usually you duck back inside once you see it. Most of the time. So, yeah, Donna says, humility, ability to coach, not just teach. That is a good definition, that you have somebody who's ability that they can coach you and not just like lecture you. I think that's a really good point, Donna. So the Rotary, 1 year in another country at 17 with 4 host families, Edmonton, Canada, and Alberta. That is really cool. I bet that was quite of an experience. My my wife's aunt went and did in Germany. She was an exchange student, and then just recently, a friend of ours, in my daughter's class, got to go to Germany, and it was kind of crazy getting her back home because she actually came home early because of the craziness going here, and it was like, how's that going to happen? There's a lot of uncertainty, but that was a really good experience for her, except towards the end, having to come back early. So we need to round this off some more. That's split. So there we go. Kind of want to make this a little deeper. There we go. This will be a fun one when we start putting the whiskers in. If you notice on this one, so what I do is I usually draw it out, and then I like how they're doing these angles. And I think I saw that in a magazine, so I tried to copy it here. So it'll be interesting to see how we're going to do this one. Yeah, this was a lot thicker piece of wood. This one I have now is pretty thin. So hopefully it'll work out okay. We'll probably give this one away too, to one of the faithful Whiskered Woodcarver viewers. It's kind of fun. And what I'm doing here is I'm not putting my hand on the blade. I've got it on this bottom part right here. So I'm using it when I'm cutting towards me. I'm always controlling it really, really, almost with the other hand, so it doesn't slip. Josh wants to win. That must have been a great experience, though, Donna, going to do that. I'm assuming how old were you at 17? Is that what you said? Yeah, 17. That would have been a fun experience. I wonder how it was for your parents though. That I would have been nervous as a parent. Right. Still want to get some more depth to this mustache. Hey, William Ori. Thank you for doing a little share, calling your friends over. I appreciate that. I am not a master carver by any means, but it's sure fun and relaxing. So I appreciate you sharing. So, yes, she was there the last year the Oilers won the Stanley Cup. I bet that was a crazy time. Yeah, she said it was nervous, but I got the travel bug. Hey, Madam Rainbow Pants. Oh, I'm sorry. You can always go back and watch, but I appreciate you coming over from Twitch. I hope you're having a great day. It just always makes me giggle seeing your name come up, Madam Rainbow Pants. I just think that is one of those clever, clever screen names I've seen. So we're talking about mentors, Madam. So if you would, what do you look for in a mentor? Who is your mentor that you are kind of checking out or learning from right now? We've talked about what makes a great mentor or, role model. I guess we kind of changed to mentors, but same thing. There we go. Now I can round this up a little bit. So, I know, Madam Choco was about to say you're my hero. I would have multiple injuries by now. No, that's why I wear the glove, because I have sliced my hand up pretty good. Man, Joe, you probably enjoy this, I bet. You should get you a little knife. Flex Cuts got some knives on Amazon you could probably get. And get some wood, and just try it. I waited too long. I wish I would have started this earlier. I thought it was going to be really expensive to get like knives and everything, and it's not really. I think these knives are like $30-40 maybe, and they last forever. Hey, there's Coach Diesel. Whittling away. So glad you were able to join us the other night on our live game show. Thank you. I was just thinking about you today, Michael, because we were talking about community in one of the shows that I run, and I was thinking, man, if you ought to teach people how to do these game shows, because if you could figure out a way to do it for people easily, I think that you could have a course on that, because it's so much fun, and plus, nothing builds it like those game shows, community, and hanging out with friends. Man, if you could figure out how to teach that right now, I think the perfect climate for that. So Joshua got cut just watching. Well, scoot back from the TV. So, Madam Rainbow Pants says, so I'm an educational assistant. I'm going to be a teacher in June. I do, in fact, wear rainbow pants. This year, one of my kindergarten students referred to me as Madam Rainbow Pants. I work in a French immersion school, so it's actually pronounced more like Madame and not Madame. Okay. Anyway, so him calling me that was the cutest ever, and I stole it for my username. That is a great story, and I love it. I think it's a great... Yeah, and who would better to name her than a Kendi? Yes. You're welcome, Michael. It was so much fun. We have to do that again. And you've got the cast of characters there who play. It's about a minute left. Hey, Mia L. Carver. Good to see you. Everybody's here today, although old Google Plus gang, it seems like. Michael was here, and I was talking about his game show, and I think I was on it a couple times with you. Those were always fun. Yeah, I've been having background music, Mia, so It's a place called Audio Blocks, and I chose them because they have a lot of good bluegrass and royalty free like folk music. And so I thought, you know what? Let me try that. People seem to like it. So we're getting close. We got 39 seconds left. Probably next time what we'll do, we'll finish her up. We'll go ahead and carve the like the lines in the beard and stuff like that with the old V-tool and stuff. But we're getting pretty close. This was a little different than the other one, but they're all different. They're all fun. So yes. Okay, Donna, have a good one. She goes, I have to go so I don't trip over the sand watching you carve and not bump into people. Well, that is awesome because, yeah, that would not be good, falling face down into somebody. Thank you for watching, though. Appreciate it, Donna. Donna's awesome. Make sure you go check her out at Socially Sorted. She's amazing. Thanks, Mia, for doing that. And Michael Daniel says, my little sis in the house. Hello, Mia. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. You know, I like to carve for about 30 minutes. And we always finish up by sharpening the old knives. Keep them sharp and ready to go for our next session. And we'll do another one tomorrow about the same time unless something happens. Power goes out. Internet don't work. Something like that. But appreciate you guys all stopping by. And it's so fun. I have learned, this started as an experiment. And it turned into this thing where I'm learning stuff and connecting with people I haven't seen for a while. I've learned stuff of, people who share like they're writing stories and all this stuff that I never knew about people. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. It's been a lot of fun. So we'll go and leave the carving cam here and go to the main. Look at my hair. It's all starting to look like a Baptist minister or something. You ever hear that joke about the Baptist minister who had a toupee made out of cat hair, and every time he scratched it, his rear would go up? Anyway, sorry. Old joke. So thanks for everybody for stopping by today. Donna Moritz, don't trip on anybody. Mia likes the music. Thanks, Mia, for stopping by. Love you guys. And of course, Mia loved the carving. So you guys are awesome. Mia has some great shows. You always need to check out Mia, what she's doing. She's so fun. She's one of the funnest online people that I know. So anyway, with that, I want to leave you guys with 4 things like I always do. Number 1, remember we are apart, but not alone. Number 2, make sure you wash your hands. And number 3, hug them if you can. Hug those people around you that you may be stuck in the house with. Give them a hug. And lastly, would you please pray for our doctors and nurses who are on the front lines? They need all the help we can give them. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.